everybody. This is Ginger, and this is Ginger's Chat Show. And I hope all is well. I'll probably be doing 15 minutes today because, sorry, for some of you, it's later. Anyway, you go with view this later. You're going to be hearing a lot of noise here. They're working on replacing the roof here in the apartment complex, so you'll be hearing a lot of knocking going on and hammering and things like that. So, they just finished fixing my section of the roof. They had to replace one panel that had dry rot in it, so they had to replace that and put a new one on, put a moisture barrier on, and everything else to prevent that. So it's looking good. It's looking very good. It looks almost like a brand new building. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about. Okay, think about this. You need to think about, well, during the elections, your best interests. Those that are Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. Well, hi, T! Long time no see! Where have you been hiding, girl? Huh? Um, Thank you. Yeah, I'm better than I was 2 months ago. So, in case I don't know if you know, 2 months ago I had an AFib incident. And so I was in the hospital for two. Oh, you've been working. Okay. Um, I had an AFib, and so I was in the hospital for 2.5 days. This was in July. I'm much better now. I'm on medications for it to prevent that and everything. So, yeah, this girl's kicking more than anything. Anyway, back to my comment. Be sure to vote what's right not only for you, but for your fellow Americans, your friends, your family. But look at the candidates. But please, above all, please vote for a president that will lead the country and will go right by it. By right, by mean doing everything correctly, okay? I prefer Kamala Harris. She's experienced. She came from a middle class family. I came from a middle class family, so I know what she's talking about. Okay. Hey, Linda. Linda, I don't know if you know, this is T Brown. She also has a podcast going on, Tea Time with T, over in YouTube, I think. I know Facebook has been knocking a few people off, which is, I think, is wrong. But anyway, yeah, go check out her videos, and she just concentrates on one subject more than anything. But today I'm doing one subject for a reason, because we're getting very close to the end of the election, thank goodness. Yesterday, for some states, early voting has started. So vote blue. Vote all the way down the line. Don't vote Democrat, Green Party, whatever. Vote blue. They're like anybody else is applying for a job to represent you and to help you and provide a public service more than anything. I can't understand why people want to vote against their best interests, because they need to look at the candidate, they need to study the candidate, they need to listen what they say, get all the information you can, do your research, say, hey, you know, Um, I like this candidate better because they speak what I'm looking for in a candidate. Because when somebody campaigns in a public office, they're basically applying for the job. Okay, they're presenting themselves to people. The people are their bosses, and so they're trying to convince their bosses, their prospective bosses, why they should hire them. Why should they vote for them into a federal public office, federal, local, state, whatever. Um, and then, of course, many of them have to learn the road. Oh, I'm sorry, Linda. Hugs. Hugs. Well, my former sister in law has dementia, and she's not doing good either. The only person around who is helping her is her son, older son. And so, it's tough. It really is. My mom had dementia, and it's sort of funny when I last saw her. She didn't recognize me, but then when she saw Beth, then she recognized me. So it kind of comes in spurts. Um, yeah, it's really hard. It's tough, and same way with my former mother-in-law. Okay, uh, she died of dementia. Uh, so it's really tough on families to having to deal with this type of issue, dementia and or uh, Alzheimer's. Um, yes, it has to rewire itself, has to retrain itself. Just keep talking to her every day. Keep reminding her, because it will repair itself. It does amazing things. There's still some things they don't know about the brain and why it does this, but they're learning that. Just keep working with a neurologist and everything else. Now, if somebody else says, "Oh, well, don't keep reminding them and everything else," I'm sorry, but this is the memories that you remember of her. This is the memories that she had. Yeah, photos work, but photos a lot of times do triggers on what they remember. Yes. So, and when my mom had dementia, and Karen says, my sister said, no, 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 no. Karen, I said, this helps her remember. This is what I read about it. So yeah, work with your caseworker, with work with her neurologist. Yes. So anyway, back to my subject. Uh, I'll be so glad when this election's over with. I really do. I'm tired of he who shall, you know who he is, he who shall not be named, um, whining, which he does. He does so much whining. It's ridiculous. It really is. Um, he's acting like a what 4-year-old brat more than anything. Now, today, was it today or was it yesterday? Um, President Obama, former President Obama. I really like him. I really do. I like the way he was roasting Trump. And he says this guy goes against everything that you're supposed to learn on the job. Trump didn't learn anything on the job. All he learned about is how to screw people over and screw the government over. Well, he's finding out things the hard way now. He will be in he's already in deep doo-doo with the DOJ on this. And he is now, hey Nancy, good seeing you. This is Nancy. She is from Avon, Wisconsin, and she comes by every, on my every of my chats. Now, before I go further on this best interest subject, I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you prefer the 1 o'clock chat or do you prefer the 3:30 chat? Oh, Alma, Wisconsin. Okay, I thought it was Ava. Sorry, Nancy. You know how our hometowns are. Do you prefer 1 o'clock or do you prefer 3:30? What's What's best for you guys? Because I could do it anytime. On my chats. I'm doing it twice a week. Monday and Friday. Because everything in between, I'm, watching news, doing research, and everything else. That type of thing, watching the rallies and things like that. Anytime for you. Okay. Well, I usually try to do it in the afternoon. I don't like doing it in the mornings because you guys may not be up yet, or you're at work, or doing something. Of course, you go and view the watch the videos anytime. You can watch the recordings on these. But I also will be posting on my YouTube channel as well. So it can be done anytime. I'm trying to get more. I need more subscribers. So I'm going to be trying to play around on my YouTube channel and see if I can spruce it up just a little bit. So it's a long process because things are changing so fast constantly. I was going, okay, I'm going to go do this, and find out they changed stuff or added stuff or whatever. So it's kind of hard to keep up. But hey, I like challenges. Anyway, as far as voting, vote blue all the way. And as I also discussed about President Obama, what he said about Trump, you could tell he doesn't like him at all. No one does. Trump broke the laws. Trump is trying to hide behind the presidency to prevent from going to jail. Well, he should be treated just like everybody else and be thrown behind the bars, really. I'm so sick and tired of Trump whining. He who shall not be named whining, okay? And this, what, in 4 weeks, 5 weeks, he's going to be sentenced on November 18th. He's going to be sentenced to jail. And I hope he's going to be in there for a long time. And the other thing, too, that I'm sorry. The other thing, too, that really bothers me about people who, the hardcore people that support this idiot, he who shall not be named, don't they get the part where he had broke a lot of federal laws that were put there for a reason? Number one. Number two, no country will accept Trump into their country because he's a felon, convicted felon. Same way international law, okay? Also, I prefer a person that's upright and does their job and fixes things, fixes problems, try to make things better for everybody else, okay? Now, another thing, too, is talk to your senators and your House reps regularly. Flash them a note, saying, hey, How about doing this or how about doing that? What I would like to see is a single payer Medicare slash dental care for everybody. Um, Make it service only. Don't make it for profit. Healthcare and dental care should not be for profit. Um, because when I grew up, I remember when it was for service only. Okay. Uh, you didn't have the insurance companies. There were very few insurance companies uh, that covered everything. Okay. Uh, when I grew up, my parents, we were under Aetna, and we had no problems. Now there's so many insurance companies and so many this and that and the other. It's gotten very confusing and, and frustrating more than anything. Um, so um, we need to push for that. We really do. I'm right now. I'm going to be in the process of changing insurance companies because my one insurance company is leaving the state. So, so you have to scramble for that. But I can't do anything about it until the 18th of this month, which is the Medicare part. So, anyway, I got that rolling. Um, let's see if I could think of anything else. Oh, and I also spent most of the day yesterday fixing my computer issues too. I am now down to two browsers. I work with Opera and Chrome. I had to go back to Chrome because of my store. It worked better with Chrome. But I used Opera mainly for other stuff, my personal stuff and everything else. Because I need a backup browser just in case the other browser goes down or has technical issues or problems or anything. So I worked on clearing that up, and my computer is running much faster. It really is. So anyway, again, please vote blue. Vote for your interests. Don't go against your interests because it can cause you problems in the end. You don't want that. Okay? We already had enough problems in this country now. We're having to deal with hurricanes, which, by the way, to my friends that live on the west coast of Florida, I'm with you. My prayers are with you, and I hope there's not too much damage. Is not too bad. Hope you're able to get your power back. I talked to Dorothy Tyndall this morning. She's fine. She's good. Um, she lives over in Tampa Bay, and she said, I'm good. She said I'm very little damage to her house, which thank goodness. So, um, otherwise, there's still millions without power in Florida. Uh, I don't know how much damage the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station is there because they're right on the coast. And Milton was going direct path, was just like right over the Space Force Station there. So I don't know how much damage they have or anything. Some of the storm chasers are still on the ground there, but many of them have gone home to recoup, to fix whatever they need to fix for the next event. Um, Respect, if you see a storm chaser on the road, don't follow them. They're there to help out, see what's on the ground. They help NOAA and help other uh, NOAA and the National Hurricane Center what they're seeing, okay? Because sometimes the radar does not always pick up everything, especially with tornadoes. They don't know where the tornado is exactly, and so they need train observers, train spotters, spot where the storm is at, and then certain give a general direction where it's going. Hey, Jean! Hi! Uh, I'm sorry, I'm fighting allergies here. I need to clean up my filter and turn my machine back on. So how are you, Jean? Long time no see. Um, Sorry it's a weird hour, for 3:30. Um, like I said, reason why I had to move it to 3:30 because I was talking to an insurance broker, Medicare insurance broker. So, um, we're gonna get that rolling. Ah, you feel better, Jean? Feel better from your nap? Um, Anytime I want to take a nap, my cat keeps waking me up like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? Loki kind of, when he does, he pats me in the back of the head, like slaps me. He says, hey, wake up. You're not supposed to go to sleep yet. So Loki tells me how to wake up. So, yeah. Um, so anyway, I will, let's see, let me check my calendar again. Let's see, where am I? Okay, I will see you on Monday the 14th, which is Columbus Day. Uh, area about this time, 19, let's see. Let me call up my calculator. Hold on a second. In this date in history, um, on this date, the start of it, 1962, 62 years ago, uh, Washington State was hit by with what we call the Columbus Day storm. It was left over from a hurricane, well, on the west side, like toward Indonesia area. They call it typhoons. Well, we had a typhoon that came over here. Apparently, it was a very big typhoon. And so it trekked its way over to Washington State and Oregon and Northern California. It hit a pretty big area. And we were hit by a very nasty windstorm. And but it hit on Columbus Day weekend. And I remember this day so well. I was about 6 years old. Um, yeah, it was a typhoon. I was 6 years old, and I was on my way. We were told to go home early. The school let us home about noon because the winds really started picking up. And we were so afraid of the big evergreen that was, well, there was one, there were two trees behind the school. There was an oak tree, great big tall oak tree, and there was an evergreen tree. Well, both were doing this number, whirling around on its roots, and we were so afraid it's going to come down and smash the school. Principal decided to say, "Yeah, let's send the kids home." He called the administration down in Puyallup, the school board or called the superintendent. He says, "Hey, we need to get these kids home now. The storm's going to be pretty bad." And said, "Yeah." So they put out an alert. Everybody, get them the buses and get them home. And Mom just got home. She just picked up a whole bunch of groceries, just got home. And she was so happy that I was able to get home. I remember wind was high and everything else, and you could hear it whistling, and I basically ran home. My bus stop was like a half mile. Okay. Um, got home. We made sure all the animals were secure and everything. Mom made sure that Karen's horse was okay, and everything. Um, 1962, Gene, happened in October. The storm started October 11th, and it came to full force on October 12th. And it was that time during what they call during Columbus Day. And Columbus Day was October 12th, 1962. It's when Columbus Day fell that weekend. It's sort of like this time frame. Um, but that's the closest thing I ever been close, like hurricane force winds. Um, yeah, 1962, 62 years ago. um, so anyway, we were hoping the house would hold together. The house was brand new. Was finished being built the year prior, 1961. Um, my dad just retired from the Air Force, and then he started working for Boeing. Boeing sent all the workers home. He said it's not safe for anyone to be in the factory or anything else. They sent everybody home. So Dad came home, uh, got everybody together, and we kind of hunkered in the, well, when it got really bad, we were in in more of the interior part of the house. Um, Mom made sure that the curtains were uh, closed and the windows were closed. Um, the wind came in from the southwest. Hi, Paula. Long time no see. Um, came in from the southwest. Basically, came in from the west and the southwest area. So I kind of was doing this number. Um, so it was a scary time. It really was. My dad, he was going to, that weekend, he was going to start building a brand new garage. Good thing he decided against it because we heard a crack, a big loud crack, a, a maple tree, really tall, big maple tree, came down and slammed on the concrete platform that was there. It was poured there. Concrete was put in like 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks prior, and good thing they didn't start building on the garage yet. Um, but made sure that Karen went out and checked on her horse, and she was, Lass was standing in the center of the little corral that was there, far away from the trees as possible. But she was still afraid of her horse getting hit by wild branches. But luckily, so far that hasn't happened. How Lass survived through that, I don't know. Okay, I didn't have a horse yet until the following year. Um, yeah, when you're in natural disasters like that, it makes a big impression on you. Now, in 1992, we had a similar windstorm come through, and it was basically from a typhoon that came our direction. Except this time I was working for Boeing at the time. And trying to walk to your car was an utter challenge because you were being pushed by the wind. And you could hear, and you could almost feel the wind pushing on the building. Um, and then, of course, we got home and checked on our animals and everything. And I lived out Roy at the time. Luckily, the trees were kind of bending this way, away, instead of toward us. And so we were pretty far away from the trees, except for the one. So, yeah, that storm did a lot of damage there. So, okay, well, I would like to wish you guys a wonderful weekend. I'm thinking about having it like a, what do you call it? Like a Friday night breakfast, if you will. And just relaxing and getting things done. I cleaned my house today because it needed it. So anyway, I will see you guys on Monday at 1 o'clock. If you prefer me to do a 3:30, please let me know. If you like that hour better. I know on the West Coast they'd be, let's see, 7 or 8 o'clock. Um, do you, here, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to put a poll question here. Hold on a second. One p.m. Central. Your time is okay. Okay, would be 3:30 my time. So in Central, it's 5:30 p. for most, and then of course 6:30 Eastern. Keep in mind, in Central Time, you guys are 2 hours ahead of me. Okay. You have 3:30. Okay, for example, 3:30 my time here. Okay. 4:30 Mountain. 5:30. 5:30 Central, and then 6:30 Eastern. But it's up to you guys. If I get more people in the 3:30 time slot, that'd be great. Because usually at 1 o'clock, everybody's at work or doing something. So anyway, just think on it and get back with me. And I hope all is well. And I will post this video on my YouTube channel. Okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Love you all. Stay safe, please. And be sure to get your flu and COVID shots too. Okay? Love you. Bye-bye.